Vendor pricing abuse is the hidden cost that property owners and associations often miss. One of the operational problems that commonly arise with property owners and association boards that you don't see clearly is vendor pricing. When a repair happens in a building, most people assume the invoice reflects the actual cost of work. But without structured oversight of the vendor, the pricing can often drift more than it should over time. And in some cases, properties can end up paying significantly more than necessary. My name is Kevin Dugan. I'm the managing principal at Altus Property Partners, and in this channel I share insights on property, operations, asset management, and how properties can run more efficiently over time. Every property is going to depend on its vendors and the ability to handle maintenance calls. You're going to need plumbers, electricians, roofers, elevator technicians, landscape contractors, snow removal. All of these people are essential to the maintenance of your building and keeping a property well operated. But oftentimes the vendor relationships need guidance, they need leadership, they need oversight. The reason for this is without oversight, oftentimes prices may vary drastically from vendor to vendor. A lot of times how the work and scope is defined is not clear. And a lot of times invoices may not match the actual work that was given or originally quoted. So when it comes down to it, vendor oversight is one of the most important operational controls in property management. Let me explain how drift can actually happen. It's not intentional abuse, but many times there's a situation that comes up, an emergency repair with no bid comparison. Long-term vendors you may have used for a while, all of a sudden their prices creep up over time. Oftentimes vendors, they're not the most technologically savvy, so they hate writing work on computers. They may have unclear scopes of work. And when you repeat these repairs and these mistakes over and over again, and when you work with the management company that isn't staying on top of it, oftentimes these prices drift. So when there isn't a structured bidding process to get an apples to apples comparison, make sure that the vendors are well qualified beforehand, and also to keep your reoccurring preferred vendors honest, that's where the price can often go up without anybody noticing. And then over several years, those small differences can add up to significant differences in your budgeted costs. The next problem, which is often an issue, is lack of accountability. When it comes to those relationships that aren't managed carefully, you don't know who's actually accountable. And that lack of clarity means who's going to approve the work order? How was the scope and description of the work verified? How do we confirm that work was actually completed on time, under budget, and properly? And without some of those key questions and structure being answered, that lack of clarity means somebody else is leading it, and oftentimes with the contractor, that price may increase over time. So when it comes to strong property management operations, you need clear accountability as to who's holding our vendors responsible for every repair and every invoice. And best practices mean a written scope of work, multiple bids that are evaluated appropriately, very clear documentation, and then a post-repair or renovation verification. Let me talk about operational systems with vendor management. Properties that are ran extremely well do not rely on memory or informal communication. They have work orders that are created in a ticket. As needed, you go out and get multiple bids. Those repairs need approval by some authority, and then the work is completed and verified. These systems mean that there's transparency with owners, board members, the management team, but without those systems, the vendor management can become very complicated and far from transparent. The next reason why vendor management is absolutely critical is because it comes down to long-term management of an asset. If it comes down to long-term management, the goal isn't just about oversight and saving costs. It's actually about protecting your community, your property, and the health over the long run. So when you have great relations and the vendors are monitored well and they're professional, that means you're going to get quality repairs, you'll get fair pricing, and consistent maintenance standards that is withheld across the entire community. That means your residents, owners, as well as the management company know that this place is a home for many and needs to be well maintained. So over time, those practices help the properties remain financially stable and physically well maintained. When it comes to vendor relationships, it's a necessary part of operating a property. But without proper oversight, proper pricing, and proper accountability that's not clear, that's when you'll face a lot of problems. And that's why a strong operational system with clear documentation are so critical to a property management company to really perform at its best. Our goal is to always protect the property and support the residents who live in there and make sure the vendors are responsible and handle the work that they're assigned. I'm Kevin Dugan with Altus Property Partners. Thank you very much.